Well, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life. As usual, on a Friday evening, we're going to do some meal prep for you for the week. Now, we're going to do a number of things tonight. Number one, we're going to do a roast beef in the halogen, because what I like to do is to cook up the roast and then slice it, and then I can use it for various things. As I work through the slices. I use it for cold cuts, for lunches and things, and I use it for roast beef and Yorkshire pudding because, I grew up eating that. So really easy way, much cheaper to buy the roast and then slice it up. And some of it I will cube and probably have it like in a kebab or something. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to make some Hawaiian bites in bread. And then the third one, we're going to do some prawn summer rolls. I actually was going to say spring rolls, but it's not spring, is it? So summer rolls, and also some pork ones. And they are for dipping, when you feel like a snack, that they're basically got vegetables in it and good stuff. And basically, I will just mix up some dipping sauce to go with it. So that's what we're going to do. I also wanted to make sure Jody, hi Jody, and for those of you who don't know who Jody is, she's my admin. Jody, can you make sure that I talk to that diagram that I was going to do after I've got the beef going, just in case I get carried away, which I occasionally do. So the first thing I'm going to do is to remind you that this is cooking in a halogen, and with a halogen, the amazing thing is you can actually cook it from frozen. This beef is not frozen, but it is solid. It's when I say it's not frozen, it's just starting to thaw. But it, as you can probably hear, it is solid. It's not thawed, and that's the joy of cooking with the halogen. You can cook straight from frozen. So I'm going to put this on, but before I do, I've turned it with the top side down, and I'm just going to cook the bottom side first. But before I do that, I'll just quickly put some pepper in there. Apparently quite a bit of pepper in there. I'm going to put a little bit of soy sauce for now, and then also a little bit of, this is like a salt mix. There we go. And I'm going to put it on at 350 because we've got plenty of time to cook this today. And there we go, and put that on, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to put it on for about 20 minutes, and then I will turn it over. Actually, no, 10 minutes. Hold on. I keep forgetting how quickly that cooks. Going to do it for 10 minutes, and then I will turn it over, do it 10 minutes on the other side, and then we'll start cooking it for real. All right. For those of you who were not at the lunchtime broadcast, hi, Sarah. And hi, Iz. Good to see you. I just would like to just let you know that there is no broadcast next week. What's in the halo? I've got roast beef. that last roast beef I did in there, I've just finished it, and it was so good. I'll talk a bit more about it in a minute. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows no broadcast next Friday. Doug and I will be celebrating our birthdays together, and I'm sure that you would want me to do that. And it was the only day he could do it, and I said, I know that the viewers will understand. The other thing is, for those of you who knew Louisiana Laurie, it is her birthday in heaven today. For those of you who didn't know, she unfortunately last week. I wanted to tell those of you who go way back with me that I actually got to be in contact with Leslie McBride. You will remember she was the viewer with agoraphobia, that we managed to give her the strength to go out and to go and get in a car, and then eventually to get her driving license, and then to get to an Adele concert, and then go in a plane for on vacation. Amazing what incredible work she did on herself, and I was delighted to see that she is now working like a regular person. So I'm certain it'll touch your heart as much as it touches mine. And she will always be somebody that when I think about the work that we did at DearMamaSal, I will always think about Leslie and obviously Jodie as well for her progress. Yes, it is amazing, Sharon. And with tears in my eyes, it makes me feel so good. Um, Again, thoughts and prayers for Bernice. I can't tell you what it's about yet, but she will undoubtedly give us permission. And I wanted to just say that in terms of unboxing, for those of you who were with me at lunchtime, I did want to show you, because just as I finished the broadcast, I was talking about the fact that I brought a robe that I wanted, and it is a microfiber. So if you think microfiber cleaning cloths, but this is a microfiber robe. And what I liked about it was that it is I bought one that's unisex, so that if ever I have somebody staying overnight, I can, give them a robe to wear if they want it, like whichever way you want to do it. It's like, it's light, and yet it will work perfectly. So there it is. And for those of you going, what's the length of it, Sal? It's about knee length. So happy with that. Yeah, I wanted, what I like about it is, I'll let you know after I've used it after a shower, whether it does what I hope it will do. The only disappointment I have is it doesn't have a hook on it, which means I got to hang it up properly. Maybe that's why they don't have a hook on it. And my thanks, of course, to Pat, if she happens to be around, who made my DearMamaSal apron for me. All right, we've got the beef already going. And the first thing I want to do, and I hope you guys will forgive me, I was talking to a viewer this week, and I promised her that, because she can't get to the Friday lunchtime broadcast, I promised her I would show her something at tonight's broadcast, and then we'll get back to cooking. The question was that she was asking me was to do with when we have trauma at an early age. And what I want you to see is that if you grow up, and normally as a child, you get nurturing and you learn all sorts of things like trust and respect and all those sort of things. And it grows exponentially as you get older. The issue is that if you have a trauma, let's say at age 4, right, this natural progression of nurturing and growth stops emotionally. All right. What happens is, this is my I'm not a therapist, and I'm not one of those sort of people. This is what I experienced this. So this is from my own experience. What happened was that I stopped growing emotionally because I went into survival. And some of you know about survival. And one of the things I would say about survival that most people don't know is you spend an awful lot of time being numb. Okay? And the reason you're numb is you don't want to relive the trauma. And so by now, depending on what this trauma is, you either learn very quickly not to trust the people you thought you could trust, or you learn that the world isn't as safe as you thought it was. You understand, you grow up way too quickly. Oh, Sarah, you think you're in survival? Okay. And so I hope that the visual helps you, all right? Which is you stop doing this and you sort of go into this plateau, if you like, of survival. And so it's really important, if you've ever been through trauma of any sort, that you do get help. Why? They will fill in. They will fill in the bits that you're missing. That's what therapy does for you. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, my problem was that I actually was traumatized right here. Trust me to be traumatized there, right? I was actually attacked while I was still in swaddling clothes, when I was still wrapped up like this, unable to talk, unable to defend myself, unable to do anything. And I was attacked by somebody whose job it was to look after me. And, I was very premature and all sorts of things. And I then got jaundice, and I spent the first 3 months of my life in hospital. But, I screamed the whole time. But that was the problem. I screamed a lot, and I was allowed out of hospital as long as they gave me 24-hour care. In other words, there was a nurse with me for 24 hours of the day. And unfortunately, one of the nurses that I had didn't have the patience to deal with me, and she attacked me, literally, yeah. And that's what happened. So for those of you who know about being numb, I actually think that I might do some more on that if any of you are interested, because it really explains why whenever we get triggered, we go back to being numb. All right. And if you've ever been there, you know what it feels like. And you're going, well, why did that happen? And, the strangest things, I think I should say it's like PTSD, right? The strangest things will trigger it. Somebody can look at you a funny way. Somebody can talk to you a funny way and whatever. And you will end up, if you haven't dealt with the issue properly, you will end up numb again and not trusting people and, all those sort of things. Very interesting bit of work. I know that I've done a lot of work on it, and I'm not perfect. None of us is. But I just wanted to let you know there is hope, and just keep doing the work you need to do, and you will find that you are less numb. But every now and then, you'll probably end up numb again, and you go, I know where it is now. I know what it is. I've gone back to my inner child is panicking about something. And then you can very quickly process it and get back to being an adult. Good. All right, now then, we have got a number of choices. I'm going to start by doing I'm turning on the crate maker because we're going to cook on there. Now, do you want to start with I'll give you choices. Would you like to start with the summer rolls or the Hawaiian bites? And the first thing I would say is if you're going to use rice paper, which is what we're going to use, make sure that you've got a deep bowl like this, all right? And that you've got some water in it. Now, what I heard today, and I didn't know this until today, if you want it to brown nicely, which I do, add some sugar to it. So I've got some brown sugar water here that I'm just going to add to this. Now, whether it works or not, we'll find out. So I'm going to start with the rolls. Let's do that, okay? And, no, I'm not. I'm going to start by putting the rice paper in here. So the rice paper comes like this, and it's literally like paper. All right. And then when you drop it in water, it starts to soften up. I've got the wrong board here. Hold on a second. This is my board for the next thing. Now, what I want to warn you of is once you've got it in water, it slowly begins to become very soft. Once it becomes soft, it will stick to another one. So make sure that what you have available is I've got a what do you call this? Dish. I got a dish here big enough that I can put 3 or 4 here and they won't touch each other, because if they touch each other, they will stick to each other. So, makes sense? All right, so here we go. Oh yeah, this is starting to get much better. And I've got all sorts of little things ready. I've got onion. I've got leeks, for those of you who know what leeks are. I've got some corn. I've got some Savoy cabbage. I've got some bok choy. I've got some tomato. And some shredded broccoli. So I thought we could do a couple. But first, I'm losing weight. Jody's saying, I've had those rice wrappers on my list for the longest time. Well, again, Jody, it's been a while, so I thought it was time that we had a look at them again. Why? They are great for... I already put a hole in mine. Well, we'll see if we can make a plan. They are great for leftovers, a little bit of leftover. And let me show you what else I've got ready. But I don't like that I've got a hole in that one, so I'm going to put another wrap in. I've got some pre-cooked pork, all right, and I've also got some prawns. So let's start by, what I'm going to do is cover the hole. I can see where it is. Yeah, okay, right there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cabbage that I've been growing and put that over the hole. There we go. So that'll be good. All right, and I think I'm going to put some prawns. I'm going to put some corn. Good. I would like to have a bit more cabbage. This is shredded cabbage, a bit more. And a bit of carrot. And some, I've just very finely chopped up some broccoli. All right, so now then, we're going to, first thing to do is to turn the sides over, like that, and then start rolling. How was that? Difficult? Now, I'm going to just put that one there. And we're going to do the next one. But first, I'm going to turn the beef over. There we go. 1 moment. That's looking good. But before I turn it over, I'm going to put some of this mustard that Jeannie sent me, the brown ginger. So I'm going to put that on first before I turn it over. Yeah, it's good. And I'm just going to put some salt and pepper on the other side. And some of the mustard. Right, the other thing I wanted to show you, hi Katie, the other thing I wanted to show you is I've cut an onion not all the way to the bottom. I've left about this much, but what I'm going to do is put that in so that can cook with the beef. Yum. Okay, so back to the spring rolls, summer rolls as it is. So the next one, I'll do a pork one. So again, I'm going to put the next one getting ready. This one broke, so we don't want that. Sometimes they are broken, so we want one that isn't broken. There we go. All right, so this time we're going to use some pork. Okay, I'm going to put some tomato in this one. I'm going to put a little bit of onion, a little bit of bok choy. And what I like about making these is you can put in whatever you want to. And it's great for leftovers. Katie's saying, I missed everyone here. I moved to Wyoming to work and live on a ranch, being crazy busy. How is everyone? Katie, I don't know if you heard at the outset, but Louisiana Laurie passed last week. I do need to tell you that because you go way back when. And we don't know how or why, but when I find out, you will know. Okay. All right. So So we're going to start by pulling the sides over and then pull the top over and then roll it as sort of tightly as you can without breaking it. And there we have it. There's our second one. Okay, and then come on now. It needs a bit more time. Well, Katie, I know that you go back way back when, and Bernice as well. Bernice, I don't know if you heard, but Louisiana Laurie passed last week. And, you know, it's her birthday today in heaven, so I'm certain the angels are looking after her. Okay, so now then, wet hands. Now, everybody's got their own way of doing this, so if I'm not doing it your way, that's okay. Let me know what you do differently. Maybe I'll learn something. All right, so we'll do another prawn one. Do some prawns. I didn't put any salt and pepper on here. Let's do some. Okay, what seasoning should we have with the prawns, do you think? Some lemon? Some lemon. Oh, got lemon pepper. That's a good idea to start with, right? A little bit of the lemon pepper. I forgot to put. Okay, and there's that. For prawns, I'm going to put some corn again. We need some greenery, so we'll put a bit of cabbage. This is Savoy cabbage that I'm growing here in the kitchen. And what about a bit of spinach? There's a spinach leaf that I'm growing here. And some carrot. And I'm going to put some leeks in there. Okay. Sides over first. Okay. And then I'm going to roll it. And remember to keep this one away from the next one, otherwise they will stick. Okay, so we got 3. Let's do the last. Oh, I forgot to put one in. Now you can probably see that the time that it takes is really just the time it takes for the rice paper to soften. And as I said, I did read somewhere today that if you've got some sugar in the water, it will help them brown nicely. So, Bernice, I didn't have a chance to have a look what you told me. So if I need to go look, let me know and I will take the time to go and have a look for the update. All right, so here we go. This is just softening up. Hi, Erin. Good to see you as well. We're doing cook up. All right, so this one will be pork again. And I think while that's happening, I'm going to put these on to start cooking. Now, what I've just, don't touch the other one. I'm just going to spray it gently with a little bit of cooking spray. And I'm not going to deep fry it. I'm going to put it on my crepe maker to cook. It would help if, and I'm going to start by putting it the seam down so that that bit can cook first. Yeah. right, so a bit more pork. This one, bit of broccoli, greenery, bit of cabbage, last of the carrot, and some bok choy for color. A bit of onion, some leeks. Okay, that's good. So the sides first, and I'm going to roll it. And put it straight on. And remember, seam side down. Okay, now let me read. Okay, you're still waiting on the other issue. Okay, so Bernice is saying her husband got rear-ended on the 12th. The guy that hit him had been so nice, and both insurance companies have been helping us. But our lawyer's secretary said we should still talk to a lawyer. Yes, absolutely. Make sure you got your rights covered. Well, you know something? The difficulty is, has Fabian been to a doctor? Fabian, has he been to a doctor to check for soft tissue damage? You know, what happens is everybody is very nice, but, you know, I want to tell you from my experience, you're going to make your own decision on this, Denise. Nobody can tell you what to do. My own experience was just after I arrived in Canada, somebody rear-ended me pretty hard on New Year's Eve. And I was fine. You know, what did I know? I was fine. I was concerned about them, you know me. Roll forward 10 years. 10 years later, or more than 10 years later, maybe 20 years later, I was at a chiropractor. And they did a series of x-rays on me. And the chiropractor said to me, "You've been seriously rear-ended in your life." And I went, "How do you know that?" And she said, "Because of the damage to your spine. And you've never had work done to help correct it. You must have been in so much pain." And I said, "Funny you should say that." And the other thing was, it not only hit me here, but also it did something funny with the lower part of my spine as well. And so all I'm saying, Bernice, is this is your decision to make. But I am pretty certain I could have got quite a payout and compensation for the damage that was done had I had the proper x-rays done, had I found out what the damage was. So, all right, so up to you. You know, this is your life. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put this and the pork back in the fridge for obvious reasons. And I'll be right back. Paprika and a little bit of meat. And I know I forgot to flavor those last ones, so I think with the what else would be nice with prawns? A bit of lemon juice, we were saying, right? Pour some lemon juice on it. In fact, and lime. Lime's also nice with it. Yum. So I'm going to put a little bit of lime over those. Okay, it's good. A little bit of lemon. And that's prawn. I'm thinking a tad of mild curry powder over the one with the pork in it, just because that's what I feel like trying. Okay, so just a mild curry powder on that one. Just to give it a bit of bite, I'm going to put a little bit of paprika on the other one. Oh, a lot. I think we'll wash that off. Because that definitely is way too much. Okay. Brush. It's good. It'll taste good. And I'm going to turn up the heat. There we go. The next thing maybe a bit of soy sauce over the ones with the prawns. Yum. Okay. Bernice is saying she loves my Birkenstocks. I want to tell you something. The best money I spent this summer was on the Birkenstocks. I don't mind telling you. I live in them. Why? They are so comfortable. And I love the fact, as you know, that I can go out in the garden, get them really dirty, and just walk into the shower wearing them. And I come out of the shower and they're clean. That's multitasking, people. Actually, tomorrow I will throw them in the whitewash because they've had quite a beating this week in terms of getting dirty. All right, so as that is cooking, let's start working on the next thing. So, all right. So all I did was some water with a little bit of sugar in it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I do this on a Friday night so that I've got bits to play with and eat all during the week. And it really works well for me. As I said, I think we did that last roast beef about 5 weeks ago, and I literally had the last of it yesterday. But I can tell you that every time I pulled some of that out and let it thaw, the taste was so good. I went, I am so happy to make another one like that because it just the fact that it had that mustard on the outside of it and that it caramelized and everything, tasted so good. Right, I'm going to turn these over. Wish me luck on this, people. This is not easy. That one has just broken a little bit, which is not surprising. Okay. All right, now, quite honestly, they all broke a little bit. So my recommendation was give them 2 layers rather than just one. However, for what I want them for, these are just fine because I'm going to eat these tonight. And they actually are going to be very tasty. I'm going to put them with some different dips. And remember, the only fat I've got on them, I just want the vegetables to cook a little bit. That's why I put a lid on them, because I want them to steam a little bit and then I'll let them crisp up again. I'm looking forward to those. So what do you think? I'm thinking a mayo and mustard would be nice for the pork one and as a dip. And for the shrimp, I'm thinking plum sauce would be very nice, obviously. Anything else that you can think of? Just give people ideas. The main thing is, when did you last have spring rolls or summer rolls, as I'm calling them now? Probably quite a while, but it's a nice change. And if you want to make a bigger meal of it, you can have them with, a salad, or I would definitely put some chow mein noodles on the, over the salad, give it something crispy as well, just to make it interesting, or, anything that is like that. Well, I want to tell you, Jody, that I will thoroughly enjoy them. I can tell you that. And that's a big meal for me. I might only get through 2 of them, but I'll see what I can do for you. But I just am going to let them cook a little bit, and then I'm going to put the oven on so that they can keep warm for when I want to eat them. And now that the beef has had time to start cooking, I'm going to put the thermometer in, and I'm going to cook the beef to medium. So Jody, if you hear that noise, the beeping, and I can't hear it because I'm deaf, you'll let me know, right? Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna, oh, I forgot about that. They did stick a little bit, but not much. I think I'm gonna wrap them in a second one, people. Just gonna let them do their thing because it looks good. It's very tasty, actually. All right, any ideas what else you could use over the summer rolls? I would think any sort of honey mustard. Oh, honey mustard would be good, wouldn't it? Yum. And you know what I have got somewhere? did I do with it? Somewhere here, I've got some honey and cinnamon. And I'm going, something tells me that would be, with a little bit of mayo in it, that would be really nice. So while they are cooking away, I'm going to now do the next thing. I had some frozen dough in the freezer, and I thought it was time to use it up. So I'm going to just make some little pizza type bites. And these I'm going to make very simply. I'm not going to do anything, something beeped. Thank you very much, Benny. Not yet. All right, so here I've got some bacon chopped very finely that I just cooked up. And I've got some pineapple, fresh pineapple, that I think I'm going to squidge. That well-known cooking term. There we go, make it smaller. And I'm going to put in some cheese. So I'm cheating. I'm just going to use string cheese because it's easy. So half a string cheese on top. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll put in the sides and wrap it up like that. And I'm just going to put some holes in the top so the steam can come out. So we'll put it there for now until we finish with these. And by the way, this dough is multigrain, my multigrain sourdough that I'm just using up. And let's do the same again. Oh yeah, bacon. Bacon. Everything's better with bacon. Some bacon. I'm going to put some tomato in this one. And squish up some pineapple. Here. And then cheese. The other half of the cheese. Put all the sides in. Like that. Roll it up. Yeah, come on. Make a couple of holes on the tops for the steam to come out. There's the second one. I need a bit more flour. 1 second. That's where it is. That's why I can't find it. It's good. They're cooking nicely. All right. Bacon. Some pineapple. Bacon, pineapple. Tomato. Some tomato on there. And cheese. Now, all right, let me see what's going on here. In about another 10 minutes, I'm going to put more mustard on the top of it. All right, so let's just roll up the last one, and then that's done. All right, the last of the bacon. More pineapple. Then we haven't got any. Oh, let me get another tomato. Hold on a second. Now we could also have added things like red peppers or whatever you want. I just fancied pizza, and that's why I did it this way. Okay, and some tomato. Pretty easy. And as I said, I just did it with some leftover dough. And now I'm going to put these, now that they've crisped, we're just going to turn them over one last time. And what I love about having the, some of you know, I have like a barbecue mat on top of my crepe maker, and it just makes it crisp up like you've had it on a barbecue, and I love that. So now I'm going to put these on as well. Just to start cooking, and I'm going to spray a little bit. So when we turn them over, they will brown up nicely. All right. Now then, Jody, the funny thing is that I found that doing little bits of cooking like this, in the evening, those are enough protein bites for me for probably the week, right? Because one day I'll have, I'm probably going to have the summer rolls tonight, but, I either have them as a meal or I have them as a snack. So it definitely, and remember that this is using up leftover vegetables and some leftover meat. So to me, it's very cost effective. Well, I'm really looking forward to eating those. Here we go. So while I get my hands clean, anybody got any updates they'd like to talk about? And let me know how that's going. Start typing so that we can share it with people. And I'm just going to put some more mustard on the beef. Jody's saying cost effective and time effective. Well, that's why I do these cook-ups for you. I want you to see that, with leftovers, you can really make some nice, I'm trying to find different ways to use leftovers for you. And as you know, I cook in a roast, and then I use up the roast in all sorts of different ways because I package it up. This was some of the pork that we cooked. Do you remember the pork tenderloin that we cooked up? I had some slices of that, if you remember, that we did. Some of it was just roast pork, and I had some slices, and that's what I've used. And I've still got some left now. So I might just, add that to the meal. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so we've got that on there. Put some more pepper. Oh, put the crow back in. So the beef is cooking really quite well, and I will decide again tomorrow what I will do, or tonight, as I'm cleaning up, I will slice it up and then put it into baggies, and so that it's available for different things. I probably will get about 6 meals out of that, and that was a AAA grade piece of beef, and I think I managed to pick it up on sale for about $14 Canadian. I'm quality testing the pineapple. It's very tasty. All right, so what would you like me to do a taste test on, if anything? Of the pork or the shrimp or prawn? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into my oven to keep warm and keep crisping. So this one is a pork one. And this one was a shrimp one. So I'll put that on one plate. I think that was pork one. So nice and easy. Taste it all. Yes, I thought I probably would taste both of these. So I will cut into both of these. Now this is probably going to be enough, but you understand that really not a lot of bad stuff in here, right? What have we got? A little bit of rice paper. That's the only thing that is on the carb side. The rest of it is all vegetables and protein. Isabel says taste everything. All right, so that is the prawn one. And this one is the pork one. Now, you understand, I didn't put this in oil. I didn't deep fry it. I just literally fried it dry. Therefore, it's fairly healthy. And the way that I look at it, if I do it that way, then I can enjoy the dip. So we got this, and what did I do with my other one? Where did it go? I can't find it at the moment, but that's okay. All right, so this is the mayo. Ooh, yes. Now, I've decided I want to mix mayo and some mint jelly. Gonna mix those up. I had some sweet and sour here, but I don't know what I did with it. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to do a taste test. So let's put some on top. So a little bit crunchy, which is what I wanted. There's a little bit of crunch from the caramelization, but there's also a little bit of crunch from the vegetables. So, and funny enough, I recommend mixing mayo and mint jelly. I've never done that before, but it's a very nice combination. For both. So, vegetables, crunchy treat. Easy to do. If Sal can do it, anybody can. Can I finish it now? It's my program. I can do what I like, right? I should really cut it. So, I think the interesting thing is that it really just requires a little bit of time, but it's a nice change from, all the usual stuff that we eat. Mm. Mm. And I don't know about you guys, but I do like it when the vegetables are cooked, but not overly cooked, right? Where they're just a little bit crunchy still. Sort of adds to the taste. I think it's a bit big to stick in your mouth, so. And you do know somewhere when I'm cleaning up this evening, I'm going to find the plum sauce. Okay. Again, it actually is nice. This is the prawn one I'm eating now. I could definitely eat that again. Might go for seconds later. The one that's in the fridge. Yeah. For those of you who were watching last week, and we were talking about Doug's present, and I was going to wrap it in the white paper that my house had been wrapped up in, reuse, recycle. And I actually did write on the paper as you suggested. I thought of some words that described him, and then I also made him a card. And so I was quite pleased I got it all done. And so his present is all ready for his birthday. Done. That was good, people. All right, so these are still going to take a while, obviously. And I think I'm going to, yeah. If you think about it, even these, although I've made them with some dough, the dough was pretty thin. So it's probably a slice of bread, maximum, by the time you've finished. But I'm going to, cut those up and enjoy the cheese and bacon. There we go. And so in the meantime, the beef is nearly done. And I think that's the point that I keep trying to say about a halogen. It was solid, frozen, just over an hour ago. And it is already at 120, and I need it to go to 150 internal temperature. So not bad from frozen, right? An hour and 15 minutes, and it's looking good. So do you want to wait and see the beef, or have we done enough to inspire you to try maybe doing some spring rolls before the summer is out? And remember that it's a really good use of, you want to wait for the beef. All right, I want that outside bit. Do any of you relate to that? That very first. I'm going to put these into a dish and let them finish cooking in the oven. First, I have to find the dish. Oh, can go in that dish. Why not? Turn that off. And as you can see, they are already crispy pretty well. I'm just going to leave them in the oven and let them quietly finish cooking in there. I can see just by virtue of the cheese is beginning to come out of them, so I know they're pretty well done. Now then, for those of you who want to see the beef, do you want to see me slice it again? What is it you want to see? And notice I just slid this round off my crepe maker, and that's what needs to get clean. I don't have to worry about cleaning all of that. I'll just give it a wet wipe before I put it away. And this bit will go in the dishwasher. I just want to rinse this off. Okay, that's it. I think I'll bring out my carving board to do the beef. So just bear with me while I make room for it because it's big. Now, if any of you are wondering, what am I going to do with the little bit of broccoli, the leftover corn, the leftover onion, a little bit of leek. What do you think I'm going to do with these? Any ideas? You remember I made that carrot and orange soup last week. What I've done is I've got some of it defrosted. And I'm going to put it in, all that's left over, yeah. I'm going to start with that base because that was really tasty. And then drop all these extra vegetables in and have that for a soup tomorrow. Oh, that's hot, people, don't touch it. So that's going to go into the fridge, and tomorrow I will cook that up and I'll have soup and fresh bread tomorrow. And I will add to it, some red pepper and other things I can find, some extra carrot slices, in there. What's the base going to be? It was that base. You remember we cooked it last week, the orange and carrot base that we cooked last week. Very tasty, by the way. What I did was I added just a little bit of beef stock to it, just to give it a little bit more taste. And it was very tasty. And then what I will do is I will let it cook for probably 2 or 3 hours, and then I will liquidize it, and then just drink it like a soup. Drink it like a soup, duh, like a coffee. But I know it's full of vegetables, and it's good for me. Jody, you really inspired me with what you were doing with the broths and things. And I really do need to drink more healthy soups. And also, I have noticed that I have dramatically cut back on my carbs. I still have them now and then, but, I'm not eating them the way I did. So it's taken a long time for me to change that habit. But I have managed to do it. So thank you. You really have inspired me on that one. Now, and what I liked was the fact I could pick cabbage from my little cabbage plant here and some spinach from my spinach plant. And that, I don't know why that felt so decadent, and it did. Yeah, Isabel's asking, is Jody, for those of you who don't know, Jody had a gastric bypass surgery, and she is now able to eat quite a lot of things. Hey, Jody. She's had salad this week. I know that. So I'm sure she'll update us. And she's lost 32 pounds now. In a month. She's advanced to a full diet except for a few things, right? How did that, by the way, you didn't tell me, Jody, how did the soda go down? Because I know you were going to have a couple of sips of a pop of some sort. And I thought you'd explode. So I was very concerned. The mother hen in me was quite concerned. But the thing I wanted to make sure people understand, Jody, is the fact that we watched you survive, drinking soups and broths. You survived on that, prior to your operation, which made me think, it's good to know that we can, because that is important for us to realize. And part of me goes, I'm trying to have now liquids for most of the day and then a small evening meal. And normally what I just ate would be, most of my small evening meal. And then later, while I'm watching television, I would probably have some fruit and cheese and crackers. All right, Jody's going, I won't be having soda regularly. You only had 2 sips, but I bet they were really great. The thing is that I bet they were really great sips. Yeah. What did you have? It was Coke Zero? I think that's what you said you were going to have. So, good one. I need to get my carving knife out. I think we're getting close to the... Oh, yeah, we are there. All right, now, how many of you, after you've cooked your roast, leave it to just sit for a while? And why? Let's see if everybody knows the why for that. Now, I have cooked this more than I would normally do for if I were having a roast beef dinner. I like it medium rare for that. Yeah, Jody says sorry about that, people. The reason that we do it is to redistribute the juices and, for it to suck the juices back into itself. Let's hope that works. Okay, I'm going to need to do that a different way. Okay. And for those of you who are experts on this, how long do you leave it? Shukriya from India. Thank you very much indeed. Ki Halaji. How long do you leave your beef to just do that? And by the way, a good idea to do that for beef, for steak, for anything. It just, there's something about the juices having time to get reabsorbed. And Speak Tech is what, SPK Tech. I'm going to just call you Tech. How did you find us? Hi, honey. Are you male or female? And how did you find us? We're about to have roast beef. So I'm going to bring it and put it on here just so that it can do the last of the resting on here. No, don't do that. Now, it's going to look, again, as it did last time, it's going to look a little burnt, but remember, it isn't burnt. It is the caramelization of the mustard. And you will also remember I put the onion in with it. So that's awesome. That'll taste really good. I'm going to put that in the gravy. when I make it. So there we go. And I can see the juices are running in it, so it should be fine to actually carve. After the broadcast, I will put some water in there and make some gravy out of the leftovers there. But let me just carve a little for you. And as you can see, I think you can. Let me get some on a plate for you. So there we go, all done. And the inside is just a little bit red, and that will just finish cooking as it cools down. And can I taste it? I want to taste this, but it's hot. Mm. Mm-hmm. Very hot. I'm now going to have mustard bits in my teeth, but I don't mind. So this was the ginger brown mustard on here. Very nice. Nothing wrong with that at all. From frozen to cooked in 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's the way to cook. And 1 hour and 15 minutes while we prepped other food, which is the important part. So I've got some nice crispy onion to go with it. Can you hear the crisp? I don't see that done a lot in North America, but in England, it's a big thing to have roast onion as a vegetable, just on its own. Like that. So think about that. Done. Hang on. I've got to get the bits out of my teeth now. Not bad. So really good. And I'll finish carving that in a second. But you can see that I've got probably, I normally have a couple of slices. I take out a couple of slices at a time, and I'll have one slice with my meal, and the other slice I will have cut up with some, what do you call it? Chutney or something, when I'm having lunch. And so it really works very well. All right, so Bernice is saying she's been doing Korean barbecue at home with meats from Costco. but the Asian store meats are better. So for people who don't know what a Korean barbecue is, it's really much the same, isn't it? And the other one, what's that? The Mongolian barbecue. So how is it different, right, Bernice? And have any of you had Mongolian barbecue? And basically what you do is you just pick all the bits that you want and then you huck them on the hot plate and cook them up. I want to get this off the board because I want to save those juices. Wow, those juices look good. That does not work, so. But I need it to work. Yeah. Yeah. Hang on, people. I just want to save some of that juice because it's so good. I think the only way I can intelligently do it is to turn the board. Now you can probably tell how it tastes by the fact that I don't want to lose any of it. Okay, that's good. All right, what do we got here? We use thin strips of pork belly, and it looks like bacon, but way thicker than Canadian bacon, right? For us, we like no seasoning, but just to dip it in sesame oil. Yes, sesame oil is wonderful, with salt and pepper. And then you cook it in the oven. That's very interesting, right? I've been doing more simple soups as well on bone marrow and adding cheaper cuts of meat. Lasts me for more than a week, exactly. Hubby doesn't like it because of the bones. So when I make his, I separate the bones and meats and soup. Have you ever had oxtail? I want to tell you something. One of the greatest meals, I should do that one day for Doug because I think he'd enjoy that. But one of the meals I remember from England that was just like, I've never had it since I left England, 50 years ago. I definitely should do that one day. And the reason is, Isabel, Bernice, because an oxtail has a lot of marrow in it. And yeah, you're going, yum. Okay, yes. It really is a very cheap way to buy meat that will taste absolutely incredible. And how about pork knuckle? It's got a good German name to it that Jody will know. It begins with K. Knuckle. Yeah, and I think we can adjust what we learn to enjoy. And I'm trying to eat slightly less salt as well. I don't use a lot of salt. I don't. The only time I cook with salt is when I do a roast. Then I put salt on the roast. But that's about the only time I use salt. And then when you reheat it, you add cabbage. Kaiser something. Well, I don't think it's going to come to me, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So you slow cook that, and it's just so good. It just falls off the bone. Really, really tasty. So those are two, excuse me, it's the onion. Two cheap cuts of meat that taste like $1,000,000. And maybe this winter I will start cooking some of them for you so that you can see. But my concern is if I start doing things in the slow cooker, it's going to take far longer than a broadcast. So again, I can't remember what you guys answered. Is it better that I prepare it and then later show you, maybe via Facebook what it looked like when I actually served it up? Because I think it's what do you put in it that everybody's interested in, right? Sakura's Bernice is saying we have pork hocks and oxtail soups in Chinese cuisines. They are amazing. Yes, I do recommend them. If if you're feeling a little bit tight on the budget, and if you're a little bit tight on the budget, it's a good idea. Get the slow cooker out, get the cheaper cuts of meat, and just really enjoy them. Really enjoy them. Because I'm not enjoying the beef at all. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. And I'm going to go and eat the other stuff now. Is there anything you'd like to see me try and cook next week? And the thing that I find interesting is every week I try and find something different that I can cook for you, but still something very simple. That you don't need fancy stuff to do it. And maybe it is a good idea for me to try and get one of these cheaper cuts of meat and see how much meat we actually get off it at the end. Because, with oxtail, most of the weight is in the bone, but so is most of the taste in the marrow. Jody's going, anything that makes you happy. Well, I'm getting a little bit challenged now, and I need to mention this. I might have to stop cooking for a while. Because I'm noticing that my big freezer into which I can put a couple of bodies, that's nearly full now. And so I might take a couple of weeks away from, next week I won't be cooking anyway because Doug will be here. But I've got to think about, I can keep cooking, but where am I going to put it all? And that's another reason why I've started cooking some soup every day. So we'll see what, I was thinking we haven't done anything like pastry for a while. And I say pastry, I'm thinking Danish pastries perhaps, or maybe some healthier stuff with almond flour or something. Make some, what do you call them? Protein bars. I bought, I tell you what I did buy. They had a sale on for ground beef. And it was such a good price, I bought 6. So we will be doing a lot of burgers and shepherd's pie this fall. And the other thing is, you remember that I said I've changed how I use my freezer? That I'm now, all the new stuff goes on the right-hand side, but before I put it in the right-hand side, I move everything across. And then at the beginning of each month, that's what I do. And I must admit, my August stuff is, pretty up there. And I got more ice cream because I'm allowed ice cream once a week. I'm looking forward to that. Jody, I know that I bought the molds for making popsicles. Something didn't go right. I froze yogurt and milk together, and it didn't seem to work as well as I would have liked. All right, what is a Mississippi crock pot, Isabel? Just so we can all salivate on that one. It sounds wonderful. It sounds like it's probably got crawdads or something in it. I'm waiting to hear. I've never heard of a Mississippi crock pot. If anybody knows what it is, okay. No, don't worry, Isabel. Don't worry. If you've got to go and do that, don't worry. Jody will get to it far faster than you will. Hey. You know, she has this ability to come up with stuff. Jody, could you quickly just have a look for Mississippi crockpot and take poor Isabel out of her misery while I eat beef? Mm. I shouldn't do this, should I? It's not even polite. I don't care. Yes. How many of you do like seafood? Bernice is saying that she loves crawdads, crabs, shrimp, and all seafood. I love lobster. I love prawns. I cook prawns quite regularly. About probably once every other week, I will cook prawns. Crabs, occasionally, not a lot. I have imitation crab more than that. Okay, so Mississippi crockpot is chuck roast with ranch dressing mix and dry onion soup mix. Is that right? That sounds so good. So a chuck roast, I mean, that's an... All right, and Bernice is saying tang orange shrimp with garlic and spices. Unfortunately, I can't do the garlic, but other than that, it sounds wonderful. So you use tang powder? How many of you are getting hungry just listening to this? Yeah, no garlic for me, no. You can imagine halfway cooking it, I go, I got to go now. So what I'd like you to do is if there's anything that you would like to see me try and wow. Now what is pepperoni? Pepperoni. Okay, so Isabel uses ranch powder. I haven't got that. Au jus sauce. Okay. Yep, that's like a gravy. That sounds so good. No garlic in hers either. I'll come to visit you then, Isabel. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. In the Philippines, and also I notice in Hawaii, you guys got really creative about what you used, things like tang and, spam and everything. It really, and it's the taste that a lot of people don't know. As I think some of you remember, one of the best crock pot recipes I did was pork tenderloin, and I threw in balsamic vinegar and probably a couple of cups of blueberries. And just, when the pork tenderloin had cooked, I took it out and then I thickened up that sauce that was left. I want to tell you that tasted like a meal from a 5-star restaurant. Even I was, pretty shocked with myself. And So use the fruits that are available. Yeah. Bernice is saying spam. She started cooking in batches in the oven. It's the best cooking ever. It makes it so crispy, and I love it that there are no oils. I needed no because there is a lot of fat in it. But the other thing is that we know a whole army, survived on it during the war. So it's pretty good protein. And I want to tell you that I get the low sodium one, and again I open up a can about once a month, I would think, and then I cut it into six, and then 1/6 is a portion for me, and I love it. I really do. I What I do is I will eat the one portion and I will freeze the rest, and then I just pull it out and let it thaw and eat it. Really. Oh, you love spam too, Jody. I didn't know that. It's funny because I know my sister says she hates it because they had to eat it during the war, but I'm going, yeah, but I still like it. It's like, it's like something else funny enough, has connotations. You know, uh, this week I opened up a can of sweetened condensed milk. Now, I'm pre-diabetic, and I'm going, that's insane, Sally. But here's what I found out, that if I take one helping of fruit salad, and that's a helping, right? It comes in a little container like this, and 1 teaspoon of condensed milk, and I mix it all in, it tastes like heaven to me. And it doesn't spike me that much. So to me, it's all about what can I have, not what can't I have, right? And so here I am, and this thing has lasted me all week, and it's pretty solid sugar. So 1 teaspoon, yum. Um, how bad is it? Let me see here. Maybe I shouldn't look; it'll upset me. 7% carbs, and for 2 tablespoons. How many teaspoons in 2 tablespoons? Because I only have a teaspoon. It's 22 grams of sugar, so we know it's condensed sugar. But boy, it tastes. I love the taste of it with fruit salad for some reason. You're thinking 4 teaspoons to 2 tablespoons, so a quarter of that. So 5 grams of sugar. Uh, But the way that I've been adjusting, is that if I'm not eating potatoes, then I can, treat myself a bit more to the other side. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I'm having mac and cheese, I'm not going to have condensed milk for sure. All right, that would be insane. And so I found that juggling that around really helps me. It sort of, it's like I can have a little, and I don't have it every day. The other day. uh, which is why I need to put on more steps now, because I've been enjoying that stuff. All right, so guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. I obviously have got quite an evening ahead of me of tidying up. Do you want to know how I tidy up after I create this chaos in my kitchen on a Friday? Did I tell you how I do it? I know that, oh, it's 6 teaspoons. Even better. So, okay. Okay, so here's what I do. I do not panic about cleaning it all up. When I've finished here, I will get what is in the oven out, and I will put it on a plate and go and sit down and relax. And then after half an hour, I will get up and I will do what I can to clean up and put stuff in the dishwasher. It normally takes me about 3 attempts to do that. right? And sometimes it takes me all evening to get the dishwasher loaded. And sometimes I don't finish cleaning up the kitchen until Saturday. It's like, it's not a major thing for me. I put the things in that, must go. But, if I've got stuff like this, all right, that's not critical that it goes away anywhere, I'll just group it all together and tomorrow I'll put it away. All right. And then this, I will just make a juice out of it and then put it in a glass bottle. And I'll worry about making gravy tomorrow. I won't worry about it tonight. Makes sense. I will probably wrap up the beef and then slice that tomorrow. Right? And so what I do is I do as little as possible just to get it tidy. And most Fridays, I'm normally, okay to go to bed around about midnight. But it's because I sit down and I watch something, and then every half hour I get up and do a bit more. So I don't make a big deal of it, is what I'm trying to say. And it really does make it no stress, exactly. And, it works for me. And it also makes it that I don't mind about making a big mess, because I go, I'm the only one normally that sees it. I mean, God help me if anybody comes to visit, but, um, I'm the one that sees it and I don't mind. I can handle it. And tomorrow I will, tomorrow evening probably I will slice the meat up and then package it, and again, I will do the same thing tomorrow evening. I will get up and I'll slice some of it and package it. And then the next time the commercial comes on, I'll slice a bit more and package it. Makes sense. It's like, we don't have to do it all immediately. Sarah saying that I get so overwhelmed with the kitchen. Do you live on your own, or do you live with somebody? You're saying I need to relax, like you. Yes, it's Sarah. Let me tell you what I found works really well for me. I will obviously put I've got 2 sinks full of stuff at the moment, right? Right? I've got 2 sinks full. Um, so what I will do, as I said, is I will group things so that it looks tidier. All right. And anything that needs washing will go over onto that area next to my coffee maker. Right. So, for example, I've got, oh, look at that piece of pineapple. Don't want to waste that, do we? So, where goes over there. So I just load everything that needs to go into the dishwasher that's still out. I will load into that area. Makes sense, Sarah? And then each time I get up, every half hour, I will put whatever's there into the dishwasher. And then I will, pick up something that needs to go in the fridge, and, just keep literally every time that I put the television on pause. I don't watch it in real time because I don't have enough time in the commercials, but I watch something, binge watch something. And quite honestly, by midnight, I'm normally clear. And by the time I wake up on a Saturday, I'm normally fine. But the thing is, I don't say I've got to get it all done in the next half hour. I worked hard to get all that out and prepped, ready to show you. So why would I make it hard work to clean it up? I'm not like that. And I know that you don't mind if I relax. Friday's a busy day for me. So Sarah, before I go, tell me more about the overwhelm. Can we help you in any way? And remember, a lot of our stress we create for ourselves with our own unrealistic expectations. So if you have any questions, or if there's anything I can help you with today, Sarah, let me know now so that I can do that. And, don't worry about the fact that it's close to the end of the broadcast, because if I can help you with something, I will. You know that, I think. I want to again give a big heads up to Jody with all the work that she has done after this operation of hers. All right, so here's the thing, Sarah. You know you can write to me, right? At dearmamasal@gmail.com. If it would help you to write to me, do that. All right. And thank you for coming on to the broadcast, and feel free to come in anytime. We're a group of people that are pretty regular. We have a group of us that are, some people come in on the Friday lunchtime broadcast. Some come in on the Friday evening because they like the cooking bit. Some come in on the Sunday afternoon broadcast where I talk about coping with stress. But, it's just like, that's what we're here for. We're here to help people who are overwhelming. I assure you, I had a bit of it this week myself. So it's not that any of us is perfect. And what we find is some weeks we help other people and some weeks we help ourselves. And I think that is what life is about and what friends are about. So don't feel that you can't write, because you can. And, just know that I will get to your email as soon as I can. And I will get back to you, especially if you remind me that you sent me an email. Because sometimes I lose them, because I'm human. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. I hope you do. And I will see you on Sunday, but then after that, I will see you the following Sunday. No broadcast next Friday. And I will try and find something fun to cook up for the following Friday. Not sure what it will be, but we'll find something. Jody will help me. I know she will. All right, everybody, have a super weekend. Enjoy it. And as you'll be pleased to hear, I almost shivered one day this week. The temperature here in British Columbia has gone all the way down into the mid 70s, which is, feels like winter suddenly. We've had these heat waves coming through, and suddenly it's just like, oh, I might have to put the heat on any minute now. It's not that I'm going to, but that's what it feels like by comparison. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, have fun, whatever you're doing. Don't make this hard work. Make it doable slowly. And don't worry about stressing yourself out. We'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye for now.